Kurt Russell has spent more than 60 years in the entertainment industry, building one of the most respected and long-lasting careers in Hollywood history. From his early days as a child actor personally recognized by Walt Disney, to becoming a major star in action films, dramas, and blockbuster franchises, his presence has remained strong across multiple generations. Yet behind the fame, the memorable roles, and the impressive filmography lies a personal decision that many in Hollywood believed would destroy his career. Now, at 75 years old, Russell is opening up about that choice and explaining why he has never regretted making it. To understand what Kurt Russell eventually walked away from, it is important to understand what he had in the first place. Born on March 17, 1951, in Springfield, Massachusetts, Kurt grew up in a family already connected to the entertainment world. His father, Bing Russell, was a well-known character actor best remembered for playing Deputy Clem on the classic television Western Bonanza. Growing up in that environment gave Kurt an early exposure to acting and storytelling. By the age of 11, he had already appeared alongside Elvis Presley in the 1963 film It Happened at the World's Fair, a small role that marked the beginning of a career few could have predicted. His talent soon caught the attention of Walt Disney. In 1966, when Russell was only 15 years old, he was cast in Follow Me, Boys, alongside Fred MacMurray. Disney reportedly admired the young actor's natural charisma and professionalism, predicting a bright future for him. That confidence led to a 10-year contract with Disney, making Russell one of the studio's most prominent young stars throughout the late 1960s and much of the 1970s. The Disney years gave him steady work and valuable experience. He became widely known for playing Dexter Riley in The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes and later returned to the character in 2 successful sequels. While these films were not considered prestigious dramatic projects, they helped Russell develop his skills and build a loyal audience. More importantly, they provided an education in filmmaking that he would later describe as invaluable. He learned discipline, professionalism, and the practical realities of how movies were made. However, the Disney image also created limitations. Many child stars struggled to transition into serious adult roles, and Hollywood had a long history of failing young performers once they outgrew their original image. Russell understood that challenge better than most. At the same time, he had another passion competing for his attention: baseball. Unlike many celebrities who casually enjoy sports, Russell was a genuinely talented athlete. In the early 1970s, he played in the California Angels minor league system and advanced to the Double-A level. For a time, a professional baseball career seemed just as realistic as an acting career. But in 1973, while turning a double play during a game in El Paso, he suffered a serious rotator cuff injury that ended his baseball ambitions before he could reach the major leagues. Although the injury was painful and disappointing, it also removed the uncertainty that had followed him for years. With baseball no longer an option, Russell devoted himself completely to acting. The timing proved perfect. His Disney contract was nearing its end, and new opportunities were beginning to appear. One of the most important turning points came when he met director John Carpenter. In 1979, Russell starred as Elvis Presley in the television film Elvis. The role demanded a level of emotional depth and transformation that audiences had never seen from him before. His performance earned an Emmy nomination and demonstrated that the former Disney star had evolved into a serious actor capable of handling complex material. It was a breakthrough moment that changed how Hollywood viewed him and opened the door to a new phase of his career. The success of Elvis was only the beginning. The 1980s would become the decade that truly defined Kurt Russell's career, largely because of his creative partnership with director John Carpenter. In 1981, Russell took on the role of Snake Plissken in Escape from New York, a tough, eye-patched antihero navigating a dystopian version of Manhattan. It was a dramatic departure from his Disney image and showed audiences a completely different side of his talent. The character quickly became iconic, proving that Russell could command the screen in darker, more mature roles. The following year, Russell reunited with Carpenter for The Thing. Set in Antarctica, the film followed a group of researchers facing a terrifying alien creature capable of imitating any living organism. Although the movie struggled at the box office when it was first released, largely because it competed with the more optimistic E.T. the Extraterrestrial, its reputation grew over time. Today, it is widely regarded as one of the greatest science fiction horror films ever made. Russell's portrayal of R.J. McCready gave the story an emotional center, helping ground a film filled with paranoia, fear, and extraordinary practical effects. In 1986, he revealed yet another side of his abilities with Big Trouble in Little China. The movie blended action, fantasy, comedy, and Chinese folklore into something unlike anything audiences had seen before. Russell played Jack Burton, a truck driver whose confidence far exceeded his actual competence. The role required perfect comedic timing and a willingness to poke fun at traditional action heroes. Like The Thing, the film was not an immediate commercial success, but gradually developed a passionate fan base and became a cult classic. By the early 1990s, Russell had firmly established himself as one of Hollywood's most versatile actors. His performance as Wyatt Earp in Tombstone became one of the most celebrated Western portrayals of the decade. Sharing the screen with Val Kilmer's unforgettable Doc Holliday, Russell helped create a film that remains one of the most beloved Westerns of modern times. He followed that success with Stargate in 1994, a science fiction adventure that would eventually grow into a major franchise. During all of these professional achievements, Russell was making a personal choice that many people in Hollywood believed would destroy everything he had worked for. Instead of remaining in Los Angeles, he decided to build a different life in Colorado. At the time, industry insiders warned him that leaving Hollywood's center of power would end his career. Their logic seemed simple. Major actors were expected to stay close to studios, executives, agents, and casting directors. Living far away was considered a serious mistake. Many people told him directly that he was making a career-ending decision. They believed that success in Hollywood required constant visibility and proximity to the industry. According to their view, no major star could maintain a top-level career while living far from Los Angeles. But Russell disagreed. He never walked away from acting. He simply walked away from Los Angeles. That distinction would become one of the most important decisions of his life. Over 40 years ago, Russell and his longtime partner Goldie Hawn chose to build a home in Old Snowmass, Colorado. The decision was not impulsive. Russell had developed a deep appreciation for the area, attracted by the mountains, the open space, and the opportunity to live a ranching lifestyle far removed from Hollywood's constant demands. When he and Hawn built their life together, they decided to create something permanent there. Their family grew up on that Colorado ranch, and the connection continues today. Their son, Wyatt Russell, now lives in Colorado with his wife Meredith Hayner and their children, making it a multi-generational family home. Russell has often explained that what appealed to him most was the authenticity of the lifestyle. He loved the mountains, the natural surroundings, and the sense that people live there because they genuinely wanted to be there. In his view, that was very different from Los Angeles, where many people remained because their careers required it. For Russell, choosing where to live based on personal happiness rather than professional expectations became a guiding principle. What made the decision remarkable was the timing. During that era, Hollywood was even more centered around Los Angeles than it is today. Industry relationships often depended on physical presence, networking events, and constant visibility. To many insiders, moving to Colorado seemed almost equivalent to retiring. Yet Russell never saw it that way. He wasn't trying to make a statement or rebel against Hollywood. He simply wanted to live where he felt happiest. At the same time, he remained selective about his work, choosing projects that genuinely interested him rather than chasing every available opportunity. That approach proved remarkably successful. After leaving Los Angeles, he continued building an impressive filmography that included Backdraft, Tombstone, Stargate, Breakdown, Miracle, Death Proof, The Hateful Eight, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and several entries in the Fast and Furious franchise. Each of those projects came from a man living on a ranch in Colorado, not from someone deeply embedded in Hollywood's social scene. The warnings turn out to be wrong. Russell demonstrated that a successful career did not require sacrificing the life he wanted to live. Instead of allowing Hollywood to dictate where he belonged, he built a life on his own terms while continuing to deliver memorable performances decade after decade. In 2026, much of the discussion surrounding Kurt Russell focused on The Madison, a neo-Western drama created by Taylor Sheridan. Released on Paramount Plus, the series follows the Clyburn family as they leave New York City and settle in Montana while trying to rebuild their lives after a devastating personal tragedy. Russell plays Preston Clyburn, the family patriarch, a role that feels perfectly suited to both his screen presence and his real-life connection to the American West. Starring alongside him is Michelle Pfeiffer, and critics quickly praised the chemistry between the two veteran actors. Their performances brought emotional depth and authenticity to a story centered on family, loss, and healing. Russell's involvement in the series came through a combination of creative respect and practical circumstances. At the same time, he was also committed to filming Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, the Apple TV Plus science fiction series in which he and his son Wyatt Russell portray the same character, Lee Shaw, at different stages of life. Rather than replacing Russell when scheduling conflicts arose, the producers of The Madison adjusted their plans to accommodate him, demonstrating how highly valued he remains in the industry after decades of success. The fact that The Madison quickly received additional seasons reflects the confidence that both audiences and studios continue to have in Russell's ability to lead major productions. Even at 75 years old, he remains a performer capable of attracting viewers and delivering compelling work. What makes The Madison especially meaningful is how closely it aligns with Russell's personal values. The story explores themes of family, resilience, and the healing power of nature, ideas that have long shaped his own life. Rather than playing a character whose beliefs feel distant from his own experiences, Russell brings genuine understanding to the role. That authenticity has always been one of his greatest strengths as an actor. His family life has also evolved in ways that few could have predicted when he first left Los Angeles decades ago. Wyatt Russell has established himself as a successful actor, earning praise for performances in both film and television. Their collaboration on Monarch, Legacy of Monsters allowed father and son to share a unique creative experience by portraying the same character across different periods of time. The family's connection to Colorado remains strong. Wyatt now lives there with his own wife and children, continuing the lifestyle that Kurt chose years ago despite widespread skepticism from Hollywood. What began as a personal decision has grown into a lasting family tradition. At the center of Russell's life has been his relationship with Goldie Hawn. Together for more than 4 decades, the couple has become one of Hollywood's most enduring partnerships. Despite constant public curiosity, they never married. Over the years, both have explained that their commitment has never depended on legal paperwork. Instead, they have built their relationship on mutual respect, trust, and the daily choice to remain together. Their blended family includes Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson from Hawn's previous marriage, along with Boston Russell from Kurt's earlier relationship. By all visible accounts, the family has remained unusually close and supportive throughout the years, something that is not always common in the entertainment world. Even now, Russell shows little interest in slowing down. While he continues to accept challenging and meaningful roles, his approach to work has become increasingly intentional. He no longer chooses projects out of pressure, fear, or the need to remain visible. Instead, he focuses on stories that genuinely interest him and collaborations that excite him creatively. That mindset has allowed him to maintain relevance without appearing desperate to stay in the spotlight. His career continues to grow because of passion rather than necessity. Looking back, the warnings Hollywood gave him more than 40 years ago seem almost unbelievable. Industry insiders insisted that leaving Los Angeles would end his career. They believed that success depended on staying physically close to the entertainment industry's power centers. Kurt Russell proved otherwise. He didn't challenge the system through public speeches or dramatic protests. He simply chose the life he wanted. He built a ranch in Colorado, surrounded himself with family, accepted projects that inspired him, and continued delivering outstanding performances. In doing so, he demonstrated something that many people struggle to believe. It is possible to have both a successful career and a fulfilling personal life. Rather than sacrificing one for the other, Russell found a way to maintain both. That balance became